Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. I'm actually in California myself, so it's morning time here, 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. I'm super excited. We have so much good stuff planned for you. I am Jennifer Hart. In case you did not know, I'm the host, and Jennifer Hart Connected is just something that's transpired. I love to interview people, seeing what they're up to in the world. And most importantly, what I do is I'm a connector. Excuse me. And I connect people and information to each other. People who are seeking change and growth. Maybe they're having a spiritual awakening. Maybe they don't even know they're having a spiritual awakening and they're like, what the heck is going on? That was me 12 years ago. And that's kind of why I started doing what I've done, because I've been on such a journey for myself. And there were so many things that I explored and discovered, and people that I connected with, events I've been to, healings that I've had. And now I want to help guide and connect people on their journeys and make sure that they're supported, because when this all came about for me, I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, everything in my life changed. And I know now in hindsight what happened. So I'm here now to connect people looking for this type of help and support to the other people and events and info that can help them along the way. So today is super exciting because we're going to be talking about subconscious blocks around money specifically. What's really exciting about this is that we did have Emma on a couple other times, and it's been very awesome. She was at my connection event yesterday called to Connect, and she was our featured healer. Holy smokes. I was going to say crap, but I did anyways. No, so I guess it doesn't matter. She was amazing. Like, I'll save it till she comes on. So let me tell you a little bit about her if you haven't caught any of her sessions yet. Emma is a healer and a yoga teacher with over 10 years of experience working with thousands of people. And she realized that she couldn't continue the law career path that she was on. And then she discovered energy work and yoga. Quite the shift there, but very interesting. Despite finding her passion, she was still stuck for years in a cycle of constant self-doubt, self-sabotage, and procrastination. Now she specializes in working with entrepreneurs and business owners to release those subconscious blocks and self-sabotage that might be holding people back from thriving and doing the work that they love. So with that, let me add Emma on. Hello and welcome. Welcome, Emma. Nope. I can't hear you. I lost your sound.
Yes, because I had not turned on my microphone over here. So yeah.
This is always
I have a beautiful microphone, but don't turn it on. Yeah. That's the way to do it. Hello, everyone. Great to be here again.
I know. It's like we just are like hanging out every day, and I love it. So
yeah,
actually,
right.
we talked about what money blocks were 2 days ago. So that is up for replay if you want to go and check it out. And then yesterday, anyone that attended the event was able to experience a freaking powerful group healing. So Emma was our featured healer, and she came on and she just can feel, I tapped in, tuned in, like she can feel what the group needs, right? And then so she just would release it and clear it. And like what happened for me as I was sitting there is I had full chills head to toe. Like, oops, I did it backwards. Head, like my hair was like, ee! And then like the, chills, goose pimples, whatever people call them. And I could feel like myself, like I was in like this vortex of like energy. Like I was literally like, I was with my eyes closed, but I could feel myself was like spinning. Like it was so magical. It was powerful. And the feedback that I got after you did the session was phenomenal. People were like, oh my gosh, like I feel so clear and I feel very energized and lighter. And so I'm so excited to have you here to talk about it today. And we're going to do 2 hot seat coaching sessions. I like to do it this way because when I started on my journey, I did not know what I was signing up for most of the time. I just said yes. I was like, I'm ready for change. Something's off. I was unhappy. I was unfulfilled. I was not satisfied in my life. So that propelled me on the journey. And then, since I've been on the entrepreneurial journey, that's a whole new like set of wheels that I got tried on. And I was like, I got to try all these things. And so for some people, they're not as adventurous as I am. So I was like, let's bring people on and show how these programs work, how the work works. What does it look like, you know? So we're going to actually start. I want to start with the first hot seat coaching. Then we'll talk about, you know, the money blocks and how you can make more money with ease and the impact of clearing the money blocks. And then we're going to do our second hot seat coaching. Sound good?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
To add to that before I bring
No, I
Danny
think you've done a great job of covering it all, Jennifer. And I think it's just let's see what comes up.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce our first live guest participant, Danny C. Muniz. She is a spiritual designer. I love her lots. So Danny has actually been a guest on the show as well. She was at the Connection event yesterday, and she had shared with me that it was super powerful. Actually, do you want to start, Danny? Like, what was your experience yesterday when Emma was doing, or after it was over? Like, how did you feel and what did you experience?
Definitely felt a lot lighter, a lot clearer. I would also say really grounded and relaxed, and a bit of a refreshness, which was really cool. Yeah.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
it was only 10 minutes, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you felt grounded with it, because there was a lot of stuff moving there.
Yes.
There was. I got chills when you said that. I'm like, there was. Like, when you said as a collective of people and everybody's stuff is coming together, and then maybe a lot of us have the same reoccurring things like visibility, stories about money. Well, I'm trying to think what else came up. If you're spiritual, you shouldn't and couldn't make money, or artistic or creative. And then it's like, and then you put it in a group with your powers, Emma, as the facilitator of the healing and the clearing, paired with a bunch of people who are also constantly doing the work on themselves to shed. Like, it was very, very powerful. That's all I could say. So come next time. And
couldn't agree more.
Amazing.
And now I'm going to, let me just set up the screen here. I'm like, which one do I want to use? I'm going to play real quick. Oh, I guess I can't use that one. All right, let me. So I want it to be you two up here. How's this? I guess Danny will be the focus, or should Emma be the focus? What do you
think Emma should be the focus.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I can deal with that.
Okay. So we're all set up now.
Limelight. Yes. Bring it on.
All right, Emma, I'm going to turn this over to you. You're in charge for the moment.
I'm now the boss. Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. And Danny, so great to actually speak to you in person, because we never got to connect yesterday in person, even though we were both there. So tell me, what was it that made you interested in having this session? And just so I know, how long is this session going to be, Jennifer? If you want to, because I'm going to put on my timer so that I don't.
I don't know. What do you think? Is 15 minutes enough time?
Yeah, that's plenty. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to put a time limit on it. If you need more, Danny does have a hard stop. I'd say by like 9:35, 9:40.
Okay. All right. So I will definitely keep that in mind. So with that being said, and so Danny, what is it that what made you want to come forward for this? What was it that inspired you? What's going on with you and money and success?
So I am on that breaking point of taking the next level. So I'm up leveling, so to speak. And with that comes new devils, right? New beliefs, new things to break through. And so, I feel like I'm ready to take that next step. And I know I got some things blocking me for that.
So what are you noticing? What's happening when you can feel that next step is right there? And what are the feelings that come up to you when you're there and you can feel it, but there's also something holding you back, and I can feel it. But where are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it when so as things are getting busier for me and I'm taking on more clients and doing more readings and more healings, it's like there's a time thing, and it's like I can't do all of it, right? And so it's like I'm feeling this way, and I know that that's not true, because I've been calling this in for a while, and so I'm at that point where that's present, and so it's like, is this too much? There's
there's this kind of feeling of overwhelm, there's too much going on, right? So if
Mhm,
we just tune into that
mhm,
feeling,
mhm.
what's the worst thing if there's just too many clients, if there's too much going on? What's the worst thing
Ooh,
that'll happen? The first
I
thing
won't
that
be
comes
able
into
to
your head.
I won't be able to serve them fully and
Okay.
completely.
And what would be the worst thing if you weren't if you so much was going on and there were loads of people coming to you and you weren't able to serve them? What would happen then?
I would feel really bad that they weren't
Yeah.
getting the level of impact that they could have gotten maybe when I wasn't as busy.
Yeah, and that bad feeling, where are you feeling it?
In my belly.
Yeah, exactly. I was feeling that at this very start. So
Yeah,
yeah, let's release that. And that's really old stuff. So let's just let that go. And
yeah.
this is kind of codependency. So any kind of where you made yourself responsible for other people's healing. Let's release that and let that go now and show you the
Mhm.
difference between what's your responsibility, your obligation, and that of your clients and the people that they work with. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. And what else is there? Right, yeah, there's like that, yeah, you gotta keep you anywhere you vowed to keep yourself small or little, or, you can't be too big or shine too brightly to make other people feel uncomfortable. Let's release that too. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes, absolutely.
And show you what it feels like to really show up for your clients and what that looks like and feels like and how to do that in a really empowered way from a powerful place, knowing that you can help them as much as they're ready to be helped. And that's all you have to do. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to say, right, if anyone following along here, if this means anything for you, you can also tune in and receive the healing here. So, yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Jennifer. All right, so how are you feeling now, Danny? What's going on for you? If you just tune into that energy in your stomach, how's it feeling now?
It's feeling like it's ready to, disperse. That's the
Yeah,
feeling I'm getting.
so if you and what is it that it needs? What's the emotion that's there?
Nervousness.
Yeah, there's a bit of
Because
anxiety.
if I lose this, then, what is, yeah, it's like losing a piece of me, I think,
Yeah,
is what I'm
so let's
feeling.
show you who you are without this and show you that it's safe to let it go now. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And show you that you can do that with that it's easy, that it's effortless. So any kind of vows or commitments that you have to carry this forever and like it's like carrying this cross, this martyr thing, let's
Mm,
release all that. Is that okay?
mhm,
Across all time, dimension, space, and
mhm,
reality, and
mhm,
show you what it feels like and how to live your life without it and what that looks like, it feels like, it is like. Is that okay?
mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So let's just disperse any kind of residual anxiety and stuff around there. And if you just check into it now, how's that feel?
Yeah, it doesn't feel it actually there's feels like an emptiness there now, like, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Okay, awesome. And when you think about getting more clients now, like you said, for like lots of clients coming to you, they're all coming to you. They're all they all want some of your time. How does that feel now?
Actually feels good. Feels really
Yes,
good.
because that's what you were calling in, right? That's what you want. And,
Yeah.
you can say yes and you can say no. If that
Mhm.
person doesn't feel right, you know what? You can send them to someone else.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's a win-win-win all around. Everybody gets served. How does that feel?
That feels good. Feels really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the money side of things? How does the money situation feel?
Ooh. The money situation feels like, is this going to last or is
Okay.
it temporary? Yeah.
Yeah. And what if it doesn't last? What happens then?
Failure.
Hmm. When was the first time in your that you remember feeling like a failure? How old is that, Danny? How
Oh,
old is that
9 years
version?
old. 9 years
9
old.
years old, yeah. And if you can see her in front of you, you can see her, anyone watching, you can see your child, whatever part of you that is, right? So this 9-year-old girl, and what is it that how's she feeling?
Uh, Nervous, scared.
Mm, yeah. Does she feel why is she feeling nervous and scared? And you can ask her. She'll tell you.
Yeah, she's nervous because, she's done something wrong and she doesn't know
Mm.
how she doesn't want anybody to know.
Yeah, so it's like all up in the throat. She doesn't want to say, she doesn't know how to say it. So
Nope.
there's all this trapped energy there.
Yep.
She can't say it. So let's show her that she can, that it's safe for her to kind of open up that and release that a little bit. And any kind of fear that she's holding on to, we're just going to release that now. Is that okay? Is she okay with that?
Yeah, she's good.
And a little bit more, and any kind of residual fears. Let's show her what was really happening. Let's show what's really happening in the situation. And anywhere she took responsibility for it, it was all her fault, all her responsibility. She blame and shame herself. Let's release that blame and shame. And any kind of trauma that she's still holding on to from that situation. Let's release all that. Is she okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah. And now take a nice deep breath. And how is she feeling now, this 9-year-old version of you?
Better.
Yeah. Is she still feeling, because she
She's
was
not fully
feeling,
safe yet. She's not fully
Mm,
safe, but she feels a
what
lot better.
what does she need in order to feel fully safe?
That those that she loves are going to still accept her.
Yeah. Yeah. So any stories that if she makes a mistake, there's going to be an outcast or thrown out. And this is like a real ancestral thing, and also kind of other lifetimes. So anything, let's release any trauma, drama from that, and release any blame, shame, and shock. Yeah. It's like
It wants to come out.
a
It's
lot
ready.
in the throat. It's really ready to go. Yeah. And peace. Bring in that peace. How's she doing now?
She feels lighter.
Yeah. And let's just ground her in this feeling, because it's like she doesn't feel very grounded. And it's safe to be grounded in this feeling, and she knows how to do that. And it's possible that she's allowed to. Is she okay with that? Is that okay?
Yep. Yep, she's fine.
And she knows how to live who she is with all these new beliefs and feelings, and without all the stuff that we've left behind. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And how's she feeling now, Danny?
Oh, she's feeling much better.
Is there anything else that she needs, or does she feel incomplete?
No, she's feeling good. She's very thankful, very grateful.
Amazing.
She's ready to share. She keeps saying
Okay.
like she's just talking.
Yeah.
She's like it's like a Coke bottle exploding.
Wow,
Like,
yeah, there's a lot there, and that was all kind of in the throat, so it's ready to open. And she knows how to she knows how to share, and when to share, and when she has discernment about when to share and when not to share. Because sometimes it's not always the right person, and how to do that in the highest and best way. Is that okay?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that it's always received in the highest and best, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then what I'd love you to do is just, get her on your knee and give her a nice hug, like embrace her, heart to heart hug. And then in her ear, you can just tell her, Danny, I love you. I'm always here for you. I got you. And then just let her step inside you. And we're just going to integrate all that energy into your body, all the way down into the center of the earth and up into the heart, and resounding out from the heart, out into the world. And just take a nice deep breath and let me know how you're doing now.
Good. The nervous anxiousness gone. Any fear, if I think about growing, expanding, speaking,
Yeah.
gone.
So now it's time to take the action, right? So this is part of it. We've done the energy work, and the energy work is great, but then we got to act on it to complete the circuit, right? So what action can you take to really integrate this into your life now? Like one little, it doesn't need to be a big action. Feels inspired for you now?
Opening up my calendar.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I block off my calendar, so opening it up.
So open up your calendar. When are you going to do that?
Today after my last appointment.
Yay! Right. So let me know when you do that, right? Because we gotta take the action. Like I mentioned before, in like action is so important. And I think for spiritual entrepreneurs, like I see people doing all this energy work and then not acting it. And if you don't, like, action is the language of physical reality. So we got to act if we want transformation to really ground in our reality. So make sure you take that action, because that's when you're going to experience all the changes in your actual reality. You're going to experience all the people in without the fear.
Yeah.
Feel good?
Absolutely. Yeah, that feels good.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else that's coming through now, or does that feel nice and complete for you?
No, that feels good. That feels complete.
Yay!
Yeah.
Woo! So I want you to
Thank you.
celebrate this, and
Yes.
also celebrate when you take the action. So make sure to
Yeah.
reach out to Jennifer, let her know, or reach out to me even. Woo! Yes, look, Jennifer's got her.
I know, I don't have any. I need some pom-poms here.
Yeah.
Everybody
so
needs a pom-pom.
Make sure you celebrate when you take that action.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're gonna, I mean, I have some, like, an artist that I was working with last year, we did some inner child work, just like what we did now. And afterwards he got the insight, and I got it too, that he needed to make a phone call, and he was really scared to make that phone call, and we released some of the fear, but he still had to actually go and do it. And from that one phone call, he sold an art piece and also got an exhibition. So who knows what's going to come from that. But to get that result, he had to actually pick up the phone
And do it.
and do the thing. So that's really, really important.
I love that. Thank you.
My
my gosh.
pleasure, Danny. Yay!
That was awesome.
That.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
Good stuff, Emma.
Yay! What feels different in your body now? Does your body feel a little bit different the way?
Yeah, it feels more open. It doesn't feel as stuck. I think I was feeling really stuck. Feels more open. I feel more free, more expanded, definitely.
So tune into that energy, like just like lock that in. You can do a little anchor. I like to do a little anchor and just anchor in that feeling. And whenever you're feeling a little out of sorts, you can kind of just connect with that again. Nice.
Got some essential oils on there too, Danny?
You know it. I had to anchor it in with some wild orange.
Yay! Well, I'm so happy. Let me know how you get on, Danny, because I love hearing how people get on after we do the releasing. What happens next? Because I just see such amazing things for you. So many people are lining up to work for you, and they were just waiting for you to open your doors.
Yes.
That's so true, Danny. I'm like, because I've had Danny on and she's done 2 readings for me, my birth chart or natal chart, and my what was the other one called? Solar return. I was like, solar plexus. That's not it. Solar return. And her work is phenomenal. So I'm so happy. I love like healers helping healers.
I know. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, well, we really need a lot of help because we got all this kind of, we're coming from a very kind of materialist, and we're doing something that's a little bit different. So it brings up all these fears that we've got to work through in order to really step out and shine. Because we're a little bit outside the box if you're doing this work of what's normal.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit weird, but we gotta let your weird flag fly. Let your crazy, extraordinary flag fly. That's the beauty of it all. Yes.
I love it.
I love it too. Oh, that was so awesome. Danny, I know you have to run. So is there anything else you want to add before you head out?
No, I would just, yes, let me be correct on that. Yes, there is something I want to add.
No, I would like to add. I mean,
let me use my words right? I do that all the time. That's something I've noticed within myself is I will automatically say no, even though I want to say, or I'm saying yes. It's so interesting. I'll automatically say, like, my love will tell me something and I'll say no, and I'll actually agree with him. But because I said no, the energy just like stops.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. And I think that is something that I'm not very conscious of. And it's really interesting that what we just did,
It
which
was related to that. It was definitely related to that.
I could feel that because I
yeah.
immediately recognized that I said no, and I never realized that. So that's a sign to me that that was definitely something major that was shifted there. So yes, I do, Jen, have something to say. I
Go for it.
love that oftentimes we think, and Emma was a very good display of this, like we think in the healing that it has to be long, that it has to be dreadful, that there has to be this like these tears. And what Emma does is so subtle. It seems so subtle, but it's actually so big and so huge. So I also love that this was displayed on how easy
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
and how even if you've been doing work, because I've been doing a lot of work, that there is still things that you can work on, and there is still things to keep releasing and healing. I mean, I've been working with my 9-year-old Danny for a very long time, and so like we've uncovered a lot of stuff around her, and this was something I hadn't uncovered that I think is really beautiful that Emma was able to come out and see. So I props to you, Emma and Jen, for bringing
Yay!
all of this
Props to you,
together.
Danny, for being open and coming forward.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of that. So this is why I do what I do, because
Mhm.
I think that people are here to share their gifts, and there's a lot of people that do the same work, but we align and we vibe differently with people. And so it's like there's multiple things happening here. One, all of the work that you've done has set you up for today, and
Yep.
she's little Danny, 9-year-old Danny was ready to show up with this today. But two, there's also something about this experience, what Emma does, how she does it, and who Emma is as a healer and a person that helps other people. And that's why I always bring on so many different people, because we're called to different people, different things, and ready for different experiences at different times. So like if the three of us came on again in another week, something else is going to be
Yep.
there. It's going to be
Definitely.
completely different
Yeah.
experience. And when you're new
Absolutely.
to this journey and you're new to the path, you may not realize it, but because I've been doing this for so long, I want to just verbalize that to other people. So whenever you get like that calling, like if you're like, wow, this really intrigued me, like of all Jen's lives, like this intrigued me, like I need to talk to Emma, follow that inkling. Or maybe you saw the one with Danny and it's like, oh, I really want my natal chart read. Like there's something there. Your soul always knows. You know what's best for yourself. So you have to just tune in and tap in. Like Danny saying yesterday, like she was like, oh my gosh, it aligns. Like I have to be gone, but I have the time. So the universe is always working with us and for us. So I just want to add that in.
Absolutely.
Yay!
I love it.
Couldn't agree more. Definitely.
Okay, so Danny, I will let you go. Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Thank
being
you,
ladies.
Danny.
brave
Thank
and
you.
coming on. I appreciate it and participating. So I'll put you out back downstage. All right. And then I just want to mention that if anybody's watching and you're like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I would love to go on and do what Danny did. And, you know, with Emma or another healer, I always am looking for participants for hot seat coaching or intuitive readings. Send me a message. I have a form you can fill out and you can possibly be one of our participants in the future. We do have one more hot seat coaching come up, but let's have a little bit of chat about you know what all transpired here right now. So what you do, Emma, is well, how about you tell me what you do? Like I know what you do and I could regurgitate it to everybody, but you tell me what you do. And then because you know, you never know if people have watched your other live or not. So I always want to start from the base. So let's start there.
Well, I mean, really simply put, I help people to let go of their stuff, you know, their shit, the stuff they don't need. I have a T-shirt that says, you know, it's got the picture of the Buddha and it says, "Let that shit go." Direct quote from the Buddha, I'm sure. But yeah, I basically help people to let go of stuff that's not working for them anymore. Old beliefs and fears and stuff that they took on when they were a child or in another dimension or doesn't even matter where. And I help them to let go of it so they can be who they really are and they can really own their power. And I do it in a really easy way that doesn't take years, that doesn't require you to lie on a couch and talk about it for 100 years, because some people, they think that that's what they've got to do. And actually, I've worked with people who've done lots of talk therapy and it hasn't worked for them, because what can happen with talk therapy is that people can get really caught up in the story. So I help people to go beyond the story, to go to the emotion and release that stuck energy, because it's just there and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's instant. You don't need to go through the trauma again. You don't need to re-experience it. You just need to recognize it and let it go. And that's exactly what I help people do. So they don't need to live with that stuff again and again, because people have like patterns. The same things happen again and again. Like people have the same relationship with a different person every time. We've all seen that. Are people in their business, having the same pattern again and again. And they think that's just the way it is, but actually it's something that you can change. And I'm just about making that really easy for people, and they don't need to suffer with it anymore.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so funny because as I was getting ready for this live this morning, I don't know why, but I guess it makes sense now. I was thinking about how talk therapy is awesome. I have seen it help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say that there's a lot more, because talk therapy is just continually talking about it with maybe
It's
action.
awareness. It's great awareness. And
Yes.
awareness is step one, but then you got to let go of the story. It's all healing is about helping to get you to a place where you're ready to let go of the thing that's not
Yes.
serving you anymore. And sometimes, like I mentioned, people can get very attached to their stories and attached
Right.
to their trauma. This is who I am. I don't know who I am without it.
Right.
It becomes part of their identity. So as well as changing people's beliefs here, what we're doing in a sense is also changing who you are, because if people believe themselves to be a failure, that's what they're holding on to as their identity, and they're going to
Right.
keep recreating that reality where they feel that way. So it's about changing the beliefs about yourself and also changing who you are, so that
Yeah.
you attract something different, so that you vibe differently, so that you feel differently, and you'll have a different life as a result of that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and the thing with talk therapy is that it doesn't always get to the subconscious and the root of things. So the subconscious
Yeah.
brain is running everything, and the work that you do works with removing things that are trapped in the subconscious or floating
Yeah.
around in the energy
Yeah.
of the subconscious, and that's what the energy work and the modality is. And it helps to release it very just easily. So
Yeah.
I love that. And we saw that live with Danny's thing, and then we'll see it again when Sandy comes on. So how do we get to the root like of the money blocks so that we
Mm.
can move forward, especially whether you're an entrepreneur? Emma mostly works with entrepreneurs, but like even if you're watching this and you're not an entrepreneur and you're just living your best life at your 9 to 5, like there's still opportunities that you might be able to see to move your money ceiling up higher, right? Get a new
Yeah.
raise, get a bonus. Like there's a lot of things. So we can talk to both with that.
Well, definitely. I mean, I work mostly with business people and entrepreneurs, but not exclusively.
Yeah.
That's just because entrepreneurs and business people, like, they really bump against their upper limit, like it when they want to be making more and they're not. But we
Mhm.
all have an upper limit. Like you have a comfort zone, the same way you have a comfort zone, like how much fun it's safe for you to have, like how much money it's safe for you to have in your bank account. And with a money ceiling, it's something that you can really see clearly, because if you look in your bank account, there'll be a kind of amount of money that that's generally there. Like in some people, let's say $2,000 or something. That's your income ceiling. And what you'll find is that, say you get this windfall and loads of money comes in, you'll find that it all goes out on expenses, and then you'll be back to your kind of set point. If you think of it like a thermostat in your house, to keeping the temperature, when it gets really hot outside, the cooling system comes on and gets you back to your set point. And if it gets really cold, the heating comes on and gets you back to your set point. And it's the same with your financial set point. This is kind of your comfort zone when it comes to money. And some people have it up in the plus. Some people, their comfort zone is actually in the minus. So it's kind of and it's not, comfort zone is kind of a misnomer, because it's not comfortable. It's kind of what we're used to. It's like habitual, and it's something that people tend to just take it from the parents. So say a lot of people, if they're brought from a very poor background, Like I had people in my program recently and they were from very poor backgrounds, and then they found it really difficult to earn and make money because they were coming from, they had all these beliefs about scarcity and not enough and I'm not good enough and all these things. And those are the things that can really get in the way when you start to make more. So some people have it in the plus, like I was saying, some people have it in the minus, and some people, their safety point or their set point is like the roller coaster up and down. So that can be your set point as well. And that's familiar to you on some level. That's what you're used to. And that's like your safety zone or your comfort zone. So to change that, you can do all the hustle, all the striving, and all the work that you want, but it doesn't really work if you still have these beliefs, if you still have that identity inside you. So the way to break through this is to actually work on changing that so that you can let more money in. Like with Danny, she had all these beliefs about, like if it's not safe to let more customers in, and if until she addresses that, she's not going to let more clients come in and more money come into her business. So all the striving in the world, and I've worked with people, like I said on the last day, I've worked with people who've spent tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on all the coaching programs about how to earn money and stuff, and it hasn't worked for them. And it's because it didn't address this deeper underlying stuff. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so I do think it does. And I know about this topic very, very much so. I've had a couple sessions with you and almost struggle and hard. Everything has to be hard is what came up in my session. So
Yeah.
we cleared out some of that. But like if I'm watching this, so how do we get to the root cause? Is it just that I'm working with you and you can identify it from source? Like I'm doing this because I'm like, it's coming down and we're all
Yeah.
connected.
Well, yeah, that's probably the quickest way is to find someone to help you, because we have like blind spots,
Right.
there are things that we don't want to see. And often these subconscious things are blind spots because, they're subconscious for a reason. Part of us doesn't want, it's not safe to see them or feel them. So it can really help to have someone else there to help you see these things. And that's really the first step. You've got to recognize that it is there. And
Yeah.
then get to where does it come from. I help people do that very quickly, but also, you couldn't kind of tune in yourself and see if you can connect. But what I found is that sometimes people have a lot of blocks and to doing that, and they get in their we get in our own way basically. So it can help to have someone kind of guide you.
Yeah.
And and also, yeah, I do get like the downloads of and guide to the direction of which way to guide people, and that can be really helpful. But one tip that you can do now to start getting more awareness is you can start writing down what you were told as a child about money. Like
There we
what
go.
were the messages that your parents gave you? Like you could do a list of 5 or 6 for your mother and then the same for your father, and then see how those beliefs are showing up in your life now, or how much you might be buying into them. And consciously, you might not believe that they're there, but trust me, before the age of 7, we're going around, we have no filter. So we basically, like, our parents are kind of gods to us. Think about it. They give us everything. Without them, we don't survive. So they're like the source for us. So we tend to just buy into everything that they say, and we have no filter. We're going around in the theta brainwave, and we just take in everything that they say, or even if they don't say it, because parents might not say, "Oh, there's not enough money," but if there was an atmosphere of scarcity in the house, or there was this feeling of not enough, that's enough. That's enough to put scarcity in you. So it's
Mhm.
not always what was said; it's what was the feeling in your house. What did your mother believe about money? What did your father believe about money? Even if they didn't say it if they didn't vocalize that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is energy is everything, right? So when we walk into a room, once you become more aware of this, and now that I've been in this scene and doing this work for a long time, I can walk in and be like, "Ooh, it feels yucky in here." But as a
Mm,
kid, I don't have the emotional or intelligence at all to be able to discern and feel what's going
yeah.
on. So yeah, you pick everything up, and then I feel like our adult life is going, okay, what the hell is going on? And then let's shed everything off. And that's what you help people do. And Yes, I think that people can do a lot of things on their own, but I 100% agree with the blind spots. Like, you need other people. Like, if you've been to therapy, you're getting a second opinion or an outside perspective to see the things you might not be seeing. And that's what you do as being a guide and a healer with people with these blocks. And so, and
Yeah.
during our session, everything you said was very spot on. And we don't really know each other like that well on a personal level. We've done a couple different things, we've
Yeah.
collaborated on some stuff, but like, we're not chatting on the phone like, Jen, what's going on in your life today? You know what
No.
I mean? And you were like totally spot on. And so it's that connectedness that we have between source and us and the energy of everything that's happening. And you could see things that I can't, because when you're so close to something, like if I get really close to this screen, I can't see anything that's going on behind me. And that's
Yeah.
how it is with these beliefs, and
Yeah.
so it's really like good to look at the patterns. And tell me more about, I guess let's go with what happened for yourself, because your bio and your story is that you had made this new path, you left law, and then you went to yoga and energy work, and then you were still stuck for a long time. So you stepped into this, and what happened in that story? Like, what did you experience of what you went through for yourself, and then what was the impact of clearing your money blocks?
Right. Well, yeah, I thought that figuring out my purpose was going to answer all my questions. Like because when I realized I didn't want to do the law thing, I was like, oh my God, who am I? Don't have any purpose. And I actually thought that just figuring out I thought the angels would come down and the pathway would become clear. And was very naive about it. Looking back, I can really see that. But that wasn't the way it was at all. I went to these classes looking to heal myself, and I was like, wow, people were like, you're really good at this. You can see things that other people can't see, and you get to really and it was something that I really enjoyed. And I was like, this is what I want to do. But for the longest time then, like my parents, they didn't really understand the work that I did. Sorry, there's a light coming in on me. Yeah. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, so my parents don't really understand what I do. So part of me was like waiting for their approval. So that was one thing. I had all these beliefs, like no one in my family is an entrepreneur, business person. So I had all these beliefs, that you have to have a job, that you can't make money doing this. And that was reinforced by my parents because that's what they believed. And they wanted me to be safe and get a safe job. So for years and years and for many years, even, I was like going round and round in circles, and I was doing all kinds of courses and coaching and everything, but nothing was really getting to the heart of this. Because I was really stuck you get very stuck in and this is another reason why you need help, because we get stuck in the self-sabotage cycle, and it kind of feeds on itself. We sabotage, we doubt ourselves, things don't work out, and then that reinforces our negative beliefs. So if we get stuck there, it really can spiral down. And from that place, it's much harder to lift yourself up. And it's really good to get someone to help you, or to get someone who's been on the journey and can kind of point you in the right direction. Because when you're stuck in that negative space, all you can see is that negativity, and it can be you can't see opportunities that might be right there, because all you can see is the negativity that you've created, that you don't know that you're creating, but that's inside you. You can see that's all you can see. You can't see anything else. So it's about kind of opening up people to see other possibilities.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I love that.
yeah, so things really didn't start to change until I really committed, first of all, because I think for a number of years I was kind of on the fence. I was kind of one foot in, one foot out, wondering why it wasn't working. So I had to really make that 100% commitment that this is what I want. And I had to be like all in. And this is the part of like making the commitment and committing to yourself, and your time, your energy, your effort and money. And this is what I really want. That was really important for me. And then also I had to like get people to help me. I had to invest in myself. I had to put the time in and really commit that this is what I wanted. But it was about making that commitment, financially, but also in my time, my energy, my effort. And yeah, also saying yes to this, because for a long time I had been kind of saying yes out loud, but really internally I was a no. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you're there, you can't see that. So it can be really useful to have someone else to see that. All you can see is things aren't working out for me and something's wrong with me. And that just feeds into more self-sabotage. So it's a vicious cycle, and it's very easy to get stuck there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when someone does this work, and you can use your own experiences if you want, what is the impact of clearing out this stuff? I mean, you moved forward in your business. That's what I heard is like when I actually decided to commit after clearing this stuff out, like I was able to really show up for myself and my business. What else
Yeah.
happened for you or anybody like clients that you've had? What are some of the impact and results and benefits?
Well, yeah, I mean, things happen easily, like synchronicity, people just kind
Hmm.
of show up. You're in the right place at the right time. Like you showed up in my room. That's just one example. Things actions become apparent, like I need to do this, and then you do it, and it's aligned, and it creates something great. Like I was talking about that artist who took the action to make the phone call. So often when I work with people, I help them to release, and then it's like, what action are you going to take from this new place? Because we're in a new energetic space, and what new actions are you going to take from there? So you start acting differently, you start feeling differently, you start acting differently, and then you get different results back, you get different feedback. Because what's happening in your life is feedback. It's telling you what's going on inside yourself. And once you change that, different things start to happen. You get different feedback. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you if things aren't going well. It just means that there's something stuck in there that doesn't go with the flow.
Yeah.
And once I started releasing those negative things, like I thought I wasn't worthy. I had all these worthiness issues. I had all these beliefs about around money and how much I could charge, and that it needed to be hard work. You can't make money doing something that's easy for you, can't possibly, or I thought the other one, like, you think you're the exception to the rule. It works for everyone else, but it can't work for me because I'm the exception to the rule. So lots of and it took me a while. Like once I worked through that, things started to work for me, and things were just, people would show up and it would just be easy. You wouldn't
Yeah.
have to, you don't like, I'm not into kind of forcing anyone to anything. It's like I make the invitation, I show them how I can help them. And then if they're like, what happens is people just start saying yes instead of no and maybe later. And, it's not right. So it's quite dramatic, the shift that can happen in your business. And then also that has an impact on how much money you make.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so
Um,
I have two things to add to this to
yes.
chime in on. So one, I love that you mentioned me coming to your room. So that was like that's where when you clear your shit out, I don't know why I like got quiet on that. Like I'm gonna get in trouble because I said that. Woo. When you clear out your stuff, it's like the universe you can receive. That's the biggest piece, right? So I'm always doing this because this is the universe for me. Like this is God, source, creator, whatever you call it. I tend to call it the universe. And
Yeah.
so universe lines up and you're able
Yeah.
to see and identify and truly vibrate at what you want. And so
Yeah.
you did a room. The only reason I showed up in that room, and I don't even know how Melissa found it, but Melissa texted me 5 minutes, like 5 minutes before it was happening. I just happened to be free. So that's the synchronicity, and was like, hey, I really think you would want to be in this room. Like, I don't remember how she found you.
What
I
was
know
the
that.
room called? Do you remember what the room was about, or?
No, it was it was a theta healing reading
Okay.
room, and I had done theta healing with other people, and so I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm always a yes, like, oh, I could get healing, great, like clearing,
Okay.
I'm always for it. So I just like hopped in. I happened to be free, like my meeting had got canceled or something, and then I raised my hand for a reading because I was like, okay, there's only like 5 people here. Like, I'll do it. Sometimes I'm not shy, but I'm shy.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'll see what happens here. So I did a hot seat coaching and I was like, dang, that was spot on. And then I sat in the room and everything you said, I got breakthroughs from everybody else's readings as well. And so, because of what I do as a connector, I'm like, ooh, let's connect. Like, I would love to connect and create and collaborate together. And bring you on or on my show and share you with other people. And since then we've done a couple sessions, and then, look at how that for you has now created, you've come on my live. This will be your third time. and you went to the event yesterday. You were the featured healer. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was
whoa,
fun.
look at that ripple effect of the work that you
Yeah.
did for yourself and the synchronicities that lined up. And then the second piece is I want to share my own personal experience. So, we did a session recently, and it was a lot of stuff around blocks with creativity and writing and my blogs. And we talked about that specifically. And the action was to write a blog, which I wrote an email instead, and I sent that out. So I've had this list of
Yay.
100 and yay.
Yay.
I had this
Celebrate.
list of 100 and something people, and I've never even sent them a hello. Nothing. Like, not hey, how you doing? Thanks for signing up. Nothing. And so I went the other day, and I was like, it's time to roll. Like, I just felt like you said, the action is easy, and I wrote out a whole email. And I sent it out with all of my upcoming things this week. And then I went and I posted to celebrate on Facebook, and it's me with a pom-pom.
I saw a picture. Yeah.
You saw it. And it's crazy because it was so like, I wrote it and then it got deleted. Facebook deleted it as I was writing it, because I was writing it in the Facebook.
Oh.
And I was like, mother effort. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna have to write this again. And then I was able to write it again. It was a little bit different. And I just trust the universe was like, the first one wasn't just right on. So do it again. And I did. And like 3 posts I've written in the last week that were like really long posts, and they just flowed out with ease. And what's crazy is that this post has gotten over 200 and something likes. Like, I don't think that it's been, not that numbers matter, but just if you need physical evidence, like, I don't think I've had a post. I don't even think like on my birthday post, I had that many likes and comments and stuff. So, like, super awesome, because on the birthday, everybody's like, oh yeah, happy birthday.
Everyone on your friends list comes.
Yeah. And I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers, so I could be wrong on that. But I like every time and people are commenting on it that like I've never even seen comment on my stuff. And so that's the power of it. It's like those small ripple effects. I got new opt-in signups from it because I shared like, hey, if you're not on my email list, come. And it's not like, oh, I have 1,000, but I got more. And it's like, things are flowing to me now because I'm able to receive them and from, the clearing work that we did. So it's really cool. I just want to share that story.
How did you feel after the session? Do you remember how you felt after the session or compared to
after the session? I felt lighter. And I remember I had started with anxiousness, and then when the session was done, the anxiousness was gone. And then I had reached out because I told you, I was like, well, I still feel like, there's some things. So for me, I think that I needed time to also process. And I'm a long-term processor. I didn't realize that at first. Like, I get things on the spot, but also I continue to have the processing and the breakthrough.
And that's totally okay. Yeah. And that's everyone really. I mean, you're always processing. And I think that's a mistake that some people make. They just keep doing all the clearing and they never integrate action on it. And that's a big mistake that people make. You need time to integrate all this stuff, to put it into action, and to really integrate it all and just really see the impact of it.
Yes. And so I actually wrote in the comments earlier when you were speaking with Danny, action, integration, and embodiment it's my focus. One of my focuses for this year. I made a little label and I printed it on my computer so that I could see it every day, because it's great to do all the clearing, the healings, and everything else. But if you're not actually putting it into play, where are you really going with it?
Exactly. So, you're chasing something. You're constantly on the path to chasing something. And it's just like, people with drugs or alcohol, they're looking for something outside themselves.
Right.
You've got to embody that energy. That's really a huge part of it. And I think that's a very easy mistake for, healers to get into, because you just keep doing all this energy work on yourself, but you never take the action. And it's like, then you're not grounded. So you're not going to be of earthly good. That's kind of out of balance. Like, I see that a lot with people who they want to develop their upper chakras and they're not grounded at all. And then the thing is, if you're like that, you can't bring your gifts to the world, and the world needs you. The world needs those gifts in the world, not, someone who's off with the fairies or in the angels all the time. We've got to bring that energy down, Yeah.
Right. In the 3D world of the human.
Yeah, exactly. We are. That's why we're here. We're here to bring that energy down, not to escape there.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk real quick, because we have one more hot seat coaching. And I hope that almost. Sandy, I sent you a message. Are you good on the time? If we go past, okay. Okay, good. So we got that checked in. Sandy's in the backstage, so I'm not just calling out to the ether right now and getting
You're calling
telepathic
out to
messages.
the angels.
So let's talk about your program real quick. So you have an upcoming
Yeah.
program called Money Alignment Mastery, which I freaking love that name. Like it's very energetically, vibrationally powerful. And this is a program that's starting in April, right?
Yes, it
Okay.
is starting. It is starting in April, and it is for entrepreneurs, healers, artists, anyone who's kind of hit an income ceiling in their business. Maybe you're seeing other people do what you do, but they're making more money than you. You know, I
Mhm.
think that's really common. Or you've spent loads of money on things and it's still not working out. Or maybe people are bargaining with you, or you're just not making the money that you want. So this is a 5-week program, and it really gets to the root of what's going on there, to heal the money wounds, to raise your self-worth so you can let more money in, and to go to the root of self-sabotage so that you can actually succeed, and also deal with the whole the big thing for people is to know the difference between, when it's your actual inner voice and when it's, the critic, because I think it can be very easy to confuse the two sometimes. So the fourth module is all about, knowing the difference and, releasing the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome so that you can really be confident in yourself. And, that really affects the way you show up. And then also there's a piece about, showing up authentically and pricing, because that's a big issue, making offers and selling from place of service so that you're not, shrinking away. Because I see a lot of healers, they hate selling, or people they kind of think they shouldn't. Part of them thinks, oh, I shouldn't be selling it. They think money is dirty. So it's like really seeing that, offering your service or your art or whatever it is that you sell, seeing it as a service and, giving yourself a fair price. And so that there's equal exchange, rather than, because what I've seen a lot of people, they can end up feeling really resentful if they start selling themselves short and doing
Mhm.
things in the cheap,
Mhm.
so that you can really thrive, and you can thrive without all this hustle, because all that is BS, that you have to hustle, that you have to work 24 hours a day to be successful, that you can never sleep, all these things. It really doesn't have to be that way. So this is for people who are really ready to show up in their business and, to have that fulfillment, joy, and to make the money that they want, to break through their limits that they might have created in their business, so they can really thrive for the first time, get off the struggle bus and just thrive in their business and do what they love, because that's really an important piece as well.
Yeah.
So it's only 5 weeks, and it's really, there's a lot of transformation happens in those 5 weeks. Like this is my second time running the program, and the people who did it last time, got amazing results. One lady, she's a personal trainer, and people before the program, she came from an immigrant family, and people used to try to bargain with her when she'd try to get them on a program. And she was amazed that after just a couple of weeks of the program, when she tried to fill her own program, nobody tried to bargain with her anymore. And she actually tripled her investment and made more money than she'd ever made before in that month. And
Wow. That's
yeah,
powerful.
yeah, really powerful. And she wasn't changing she wasn't changing what she said to people. She was changing inside herself. And she did it with such ease. She was really amazed. And another person who did the program, she has been struggling for like 24 months in her business. And 2 clients just kind of showed up, and she raised her prices, which was a huge thing. And also she hired people out to help her, to help her do the things that she hated. Like I think she hired someone to do her social media management, because she really hated that, and
Yeah.
also someone to do her accounting, which was huge for her, because before she was like, oh my God, there's not enough, I have to do it all on my own. So people got amazing results. One lady on, because it's a hybrid program as well, so there's also a live component. And one lady on one of the lives, I did a clearing on her specific issue, and she was like, wow, that's the most amazing experience of my life, because she'd never experienced anything like that before.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Well, and I can say too, because it's a group program, right? So I experienced your group clearing yesterday, and that was freaking phenomenal. Like everybody wrote me afterwards and was like, "Whoa!" Like energy was spinning in the room. It was amazing. And so I love the aspect that it does have the live calls, and you are doing the clearings, and then you have the modules as well, and then all the results that people have got from it, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And
Yeah.
there are videos and tools, like it involves some yoga and meditation components and also audios that you can listen to. So, people can do all that work themselves and then come to the call with anything that's left over.
Yeah.
So I designed this to be really complete. And there's also, like, within the program, if people want, there are going to be opportunities to do, one-to-ones if they want, if they feel like there's something deeper going on. So that possibility is going to be there. So yeah, and also, oh, if I could say, I'm going to be sending out an email in a couple of days, and the first 3 people to join the program, I'm going to give them a free session with me. So that's going to be huge. So a free 45-minute session. So if you're interested and you'd like to get that free 45-minute healing, like you saw what we just did with Danny, this is going to be like almost an hour of that. So we can really do a lot in that time. So, if you're interested in the program, get in there sooner rather than later, I would say.
Yeah. And then I put your link to reach you in the caption of the video. So is your program, if they're interested, like anything that they need, they can find on that link to reach you, right?
Yeah. So it's my link tree, is it on there?
Yeah.
That you put
Yeah.
up? Yeah. So in my link tree, the first link is a call. So if you want to have a quick chat with me, and talk about what would be best for you, that's like a 20-minute chat. I can talk to you about where you are, where you're looking to go, and what's getting in the way. And I can tell you a little bit more about the program and if it's right for you, and talk about what would work for you. So that's probably a good way to go. And there is, if you look a bit further down, there is also a sales page. So if you want to look at the sales page, if you're already if you're like, yes, I want to do this, you can find that it's a little bit further down. It's called Money Alignment Mastery Group program. So you can find it there on the link tree. Everything is there. So, but if you want to talk to me for 20 minutes, if you're still on the not sure, come and chat to me for 20 minutes and I can guide you in the right direction. So even if I'm not the right person for you, I can guide you in the direction of someone else that might be able to help, or something else that might be able to help you.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that. If it's not a right fit, you're very honest about that. Cause I know there are some people that are just like, oh, I need sales. I'll take anybody. But it's like, if it's not in alignment, then I appreciate that honesty and integrity. So I just want to commend you for that and point that out. Anything else you want to add with that before I bring on our last live hot seat coaching?
Well, yeah, I would just say, book a chat to me if you're not sure, if you're feeling it but you're not sure what you're feeling. Go and book that call, and you could also get the free session with me if you're one of the first 3 people. So
highly recommend.
Go and do it. If you're ready, you're ready to grow your business and grow yourself. And the amazing thing as well, Jennifer, like, I work with people on money blocks and success blocks and things, but it's so cool to see that doing this work actually changes other areas of their life as well. Like, it's all about owning your value. And when you own your value, everything changes. Like, and it's also like, let me tell a secret for you, like, your money and your success, it's really connected with your sex life and your relationships. So a lot of people, when they're stuck in the money, they're also stuck in sex and relationships, because it's all about receiving more. So when you get to, like, I've had clients who've had big breakthroughs in other areas from doing this work, because it's going to such a deep level.
Yeah, I'm laughing right now. I'm laughing because I just have thoughts going through my head.
Yeah.
That's juicy. We should have a whole separate conversation on that. How come you've never brought that up before? Like, that's such good info to know.
Oh yeah, sex and money, so connected.
Very
really
connected. What comes all from the same chakra, right?
Yeah, because it's your creativity, and it's like down there in the second chakra and the throat as well. So it's all about receiving and being creative.
Yeah.
And expressing yourself.
I'm like, that's a live for another day. money
Yeah,
and
it's
sex.
all about owning your value. And when you own your value, everything changes. We're not
Let's do
talking
it.
your money. We're talking bigger than money, if you can believe that.
Okay, I like it. Okay, that is seriously a lot. We will schedule that. I'm very interested in that topic. All right, I highly recommend. I have worked with Emma. She is very powerful. She is very knowledgeable. She's a great healer, intuitive guide. So if you have any interest, set up a call. Check it out. If you don't have interest, that's cool too. Hang around, and we are going to do hot seat coaching. That's just fun, and you'll get something out of that as well. So Sandy, are you all set to join us on stage? Yes, she is. Do you have tissues and paper there? Is that what you were showing me? Yeah.
Well, after that deal with Danny, I was like, I am not going in unprepared.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Holy moly.
What happened when you were hearing Danny's healing? Did stuff come up for you as well, Sandy?
We'll just go with yes.
Okay.
Jen sent me a
Amazing.
note. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know.
So people don't realize it. With StreamYard, what I use for my streaming is that there's a backstage. And so if I have multiple guests on, they can hang out backstage. And so I can see them. I can't hear them. They can hear and see us, but I could just see Sandy over there like, and I was like, are you okay? Because I sent her a private message, and she was like, it was so impactful. So like, even though the session was with Danny, Sandy had her own breakthrough and happenings with, was it 9-year-old Sandy?
Yeah, I took notes.
Oh, you took notes.
Like,
Do
oh
you
my
care to
God.
share it all? Like any pieces of that? Would you be open?
Well, I thought it was interesting that Danny, yeah, pranayama, breathe. I thought it was so interesting when Danny picked 9 years old. I was like, of course she picked 9 years old. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. And I put a note that said, I never feel safe because I was never, and I underlined safe. And then I was like, holy, and I drew shit. I was like, holy shit. And then I put a note that said, I failed to protect myself and no one protected me. And I continue to not protect myself. So I build thick walls as a result of that. And even though I am in an amazing marriage with just a phenomenal guy who does actually protect me in ways that I've never experienced, I live in fear because I either choose someone who's devastating me financially or physically, right? Because I relive out that failure to protect. And anyway, that was what I got.
Wow.
Wow, amazing.
Which defines,
And
like, Jen and I have been talking about relationships. So when you connected sex and money, and Jen and I have been on this path, and I was like,
it's about
see, I
how
told
much
you.
you're willing to let in. And when you have thick walls, I spoke to someone a couple of months ago who had massive trauma. I think I mentioned this to you a couple of days ago, Jennifer, and she was quite proud of, being a survivor, and she was not willing to let go of that. But I could see like this child behind a big wall. So for this kind of work, you just need to want the change more than you want to hold on to it. And some people, they're not there yet, and that's okay.
I learned so much from that comment that you made the other day from that, Emma. I heard you say that, and I work with people all the time, and they're like, I'll tell them what I'm seeing, and they'll go, no, that's not it. And I'm like, internally, I'm like, yeah, it is. It is it. But okay, I must have been wrong. And so when you said that the other day, I was like, I know Emma nailed that person. I know in my core that Emma nailed that person. So does that mean that I'm also right when I'm telling somebody something and they're just in a space of
Um,
denial, and I write off my own
Yeah, most likely, yes. I mean, if
intuition?
it's
Okay,
if it's what you feel, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. The thing is, like, if they're not ready, they're not ready.
they're not
If
ready.
they don't want to look at it, they don't want to look at it, and that's the truth. If they're not, so people, that's the thing. I think that's the key. People need to be willing to look at their stuff. If they're not even willing to go there, like this woman that I'm referring to, she wasn't willing to go there. She was like, "No, I survived." She was kind of holding it up like, "I'm a survivor."
Yeah.
Other people went to addiction. I didn't. She was really proud of her surviving, and she felt that if we kind of tapped on this thing, everything would crumble down. So there was a hell of a lot of fear there. And who am I to tell her, she's just not ready for that.
I loved it. It was
She might
awesome.
never be ready, and that has to be okay.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
It keeps her upright and mobile, clinging to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has survived. She is amazing. I mean, there's so much more that she could let in, but until she's ready to look at that stuff, and that's the key to doing this work. You have to be willing to look it in the eye, and most people are too afraid to do that. But I mean, I hope we've shown here today that it's not that scary. People think, oh my God, it's going to be so scary, it's going to be painful, and I think hopefully today, if people are watching, they'll see, well, it's not actually painful. It's more painful holding on to it than it is to let go of it.
Yeah.
I used to think if I start crying, I may never stop, so I cannot cry. But at the same
Yes.
time, I would tell you it's perfectly acceptable to cry. Go
Yeah.
ahead, let it out.
That
But I
woman
would be
that
like,
woman was like that. She hadn't cried since she was a child. So that's really that's like you are really holding yourself back. And if you're holding yourself back in intimate relationships, that means you're holding yourself back in every way.
Yeah. All right. Let's I have a hard stop at 10:30. I
Okay.
honestly didn't see. Do you think we can make it? I forgot.
Yeah.
we can do this. We
Okay.
got this.
All right.
Definitely.
Let's
So
get
tell me,
moving. Sorry, I was
Sandy.
all pumped about her breakthrough earlier. Okay, so take over, Emma. We're doing the hot seat
You've
coaching.
already had a breakthrough, but let's see if we can get you another one, Sandy. So did you come here with something in particular that you want to look at or work on, or?
Yes. So the reason Jen asked me on is a comment that I made when you were on the other day, and
Mhm.
you were talking about money blocks and messages, and
Yeah.
my parents, who probably should have never been married, honestly,
Yeah.
in one of the most genuine moments my father has ever given me was like he sat down and he was visiting, and this rare moment where he was nice about my mother, he's like, when we were depending on each other financially, we were fine, but as soon as we made it financially, we got divorced. Now,
Mhm.
it was truly one of the sweetest messages he's ever given me from his heart, but my very young 20 something or whatever mind at that time heard and held to, if I don't depend on my spouse, if we make it financially, we're going to get divorced. So I repeat the pattern of either choosing someone in my life who has a dollar spent 200 ways before it's even earned, or somebody who absolutely was not just financially devastating to me personally, but emotionally and physically violent. And then a series of hiccups. And now I'm in this relationship where this amazing guy who doesn't have any of my money issues whatsoever. He's like, yeah, so what? Okay, so yeah, that money's gone. It'll flow back. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, wait, what? And there's just no fear in his life. And I'm trying to wrap my head around his world and be a solid partner. And I'm learning that I struggle because I still hold on to that. And it took me until just a couple of years ago, it took me till I was 50 basically, to figure out that if you make it financially, you'll lose your marriage,
Okay.
was my
Well,
message.
congratulations, because you've done a lot of diving in this already. So congratulations on all your awareness.
Thank you.
So how old were you when all that happened? How old is that little version of Sandy?
So I'm pretty sure I was in my early 20s, actually. So it wasn't a child
Like
necessarily,
21 or something
but
like
yeah,
that?
like 20,
Okay.
21, maybe even
So if you
19.
can okay, so let's tune into that 19, 20-year-old Sandy. And you could close your eyes and get really connected. So how's she feeling there when you connect with her energy?
She is off the hook. She is
Mm.
just
What's she saying? What does she need?
um she needs safety and protection. She has a
Yeah.
1-year-old and she
Mm.
is trying to be a mom and adult and all of the things that she was never taught.
Yeah. Okay. So let's release some of that, say some of that insecurity that she's holding on to and show her what it feels like and how to be safe. Is that okay? Is she okay with that?
Mhm.
Yeah, and that it's safe to feel safe, that she's allowed to feel safe, that she can feel self safe now in this moment. So anywhere safety was somewhere in the past, present, or future, or never, let's bring it into the now. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And let's show her that she can be grounded in the now and still be safe and supported. She knows what it feels like. So let's remind her what it feels like, how to be safe and how to feel supported and how to support herself, how to receive support from others, how to receive support from the universe. Is that okay?
Yes.
So any trauma, drama, pain, blame, shame from not being supported, not feeling ignored, from feeling ignored actually, from feeling ignored, unsupported, unloved, ignored, neglected. Let's release that and release any blame, shame, shock, trauma around that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How's she feeling now, Sandy?
More peaceful.
What's still there? What does she need now?
She's just she's calm, but she still has fear.
Okay. Yeah, where is the fear? She get her to point to it in her body. Where is that?
It's low. It's
Mm.
like root chakra
Yeah.
type low. I can feel it.
No, yeah, it's all about being supported. So let's would it be okay if we release that fear now? And
Yes.
so show her that she can move forward without the fear and what that looks like and feels like and is like how to move forward without fear. Yeah, because fear has been her guiding star. So let's bring another way of guiding you to move forward without fear. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, let's show you a new way of moving forward and being guided without fear being the way. So you don't need to do that anymore. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anywhere she promised or where she was told or shown or believed that, fear is the only way to move you forward, to get you going, to get you forward in life. Let's release that. Let's show you another way of feeling safe without fear. Yeah. So let's release this belief that fear guides you to safety. Let's show you what fear really is doing. Like fear is just tapping you on the shoulder and saying you've got some beliefs here that are out of alignment with who you really are. So let's bring in that to try as truth. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. And let's show you what it feels like. Let's bring this in for her and all parts of you, show you how to depend on yourself. So anywhere you said that you couldn't depend on yourself, let's release that and show you that you know how to depend on yourself and how to believe in yourself and what that looks like and feels like and is like. What it feels like to be financially sound, to be looked after and cared for. Peace. Okay. How's Sandy? How's the 19, 20-year-old Sandy doing now?
Really good.
Hmm. Is there anything else still there? Is she feeling really good? Is she feeling anything? Just really check.
No.
Is it safe to move forward now?
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows how to be a good mother. Let's show her that she can be a good mother by just doing the best that she can in this moment. So let's release any beliefs that she's not a good mother, that she can't be a good mother. Let's release that and show her that she can be a good mother by just being truly herself and that she does that right now. That she's a great mother. She modeled so much strength for her kid. So much strength, so much resilience, so much power, and so much independence. So let's release this idea of always having to be independent and show you like you don't need to be codependent, you don't need to be independent, you can be interdependent. That means you can connect with each other and support each other in a way that feels safe for everyone, in a way that feels safe, right, and good. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring in that feeling. And you know how to say what your needs are and to say yes and when to say no when it doesn't feel good and it's safe to say no. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And you know what it feels like and how to love yourself unconditionally, just like the way you love unconditionally your child. You can also love unconditionally your very self. Yeah, nice. Okay. How does that feel now, Sandy?
So peaceful and
Yeah.
calm.
Does your 19 or 20-year-old want to say anything or share anything, or how's she doing?
The first thought that came to mind was, I wish I knew this then. But that
Hmm.
was the only thought.
It's now. It's
It's
now.
now.
She's knowing it
Yeah.
now. She does know it now.
She does know it now.
Is that
Yeah.
something you can clear? I'm just curious. I'm going to chime in real quick.
Clear what?
Clear, like, wanting, like, the coulda, shoulda, woulda's. Like,
Regret.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
regret.
Regret.
Okay, yeah. Do you call it regret? Like, is that a belief that can be cleared
Yeah.
out, or?
Yes. Because the thing is, if you're regretting what's happened to you, you're regretting who you are.
Oh, wow.
You're regretting who you've become, and that's like self-denial. That's self-hatred. So we
Ooh.
don't want that energy, do you? Let's release that. Because all the things that you've done and all the things that they've made you who you are. Without that, you wouldn't be you. So let's bring any contradictions to anything in the way of that. Let's release that. And you can be at peace now, just being who you are. And you can just love yourself and love all parts of you, even the ones that didn't know any better. They always did the best they could. So let's release any trauma drama, all that judgment, all that judgment, all that judgment, that self-judgment. Let's release that across all time, dimension, space, and reality. And just bring in this energy of unconditional love. And take a nice deep breath. How does that feel now, Sandy?
Cleared. That was quite an
Mm,
emotional, energetic. Whew.
yeah. And you
Okay.
can let's integrate that 19, 20-year-old part of you. Like let's just you can give her a big hug and tell her that you love her and you got her, got your back. And then just let her step inside you and integrate all that healing that we've done and show you that you know who you are and how to live your life with all this new beliefs and feelings and without all that crap that we've left behind. It's gone now. What feels different now, Sandy?
The note I just took was, you did not fail.
No, you did not.
Good.
Yeah, you didn't fail. You actually should be proud of yourself because you survived. You made it. And you became who you are.
And they raised an amazing daughter. Whew.
Exactly. Who you love so much. And now you can just honor that by loving yourself. And that's a choice you make in every moment. So this process is still going on for you. You might notice something's happening in the next couple of hours, just like be really gentle with yourself. Make sure you drink lots of water, and if you need to have a little cry, let it happen.
Okay.
Does that feel good? Feel nice?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anchor that in. Anchor in that feeling. And remember this, if anything triggers you again, you can come back to this place. And there's still some releasing happening for the next hour or two. So be really gentle. I invite you to be really gentle with yourself for the next little while. And if you can, don't do anything else, anything too heavy for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Beautiful. That feels nice now.
Yeah. Thank you.
I feel like she's still processing it all.
Yeah, no, she's going to be processing it for a while. It's okay.
It's so interesting to me when you step in, like, here's what had come to me, and it just takes a beautiful, unexpected turn where it's meant to go.
Well, like I said, the money blocks are rarely about the money.
Right.
It's deeper stuff. It's about your value, your power.
Ooh,
So in a sense,
yeah,
the money blocks are just an excuse to get into that deeper stuff, because that's what makes the biggest difference.
Interesting.
Is there anything, Sandy, that you can share? By the way, I moved my meeting so we don't have to stop immediately. I'm like, this is so good right now. Is there anything that you could share as a person that was on the receiving end of things? Like, how did it feel, for yourself?
When she asked, I honestly can't remember specifically what she asked, but when I said, like, I reached back, like, my lower body felt pain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was not I mean, it's hard to explain, like, it wasn't like a stabbing pain, but there was, like, pressure, pain, discomfort. And so when you asked, like, "Where do you feel?" It's like, wow, like, that it was unmistakable. And then as we walked through, I felt that release, and then my heart was, like, spinning. It was really interesting. It was really interesting. And then everything just, like, cleared and was, like, more like a flowing river, just smooth and gentle and not and it felt great. But it wasn't like, "Oh, this is" it's hard to explain because it was just so peaceful.
Yeah. That's awesome. I just want people to really understand, like, when you're on the receiving end of things, what's the experience? And I experienced the same thing with my session with Emma. I'd have little pains come up in my body that weren't like, because the things get stored, energy and emotions get stored in our body and they want to be released. And so it's showing us, like, I was having pains here and I'm like, I never have pains here. What's going on? And it's like crazy. And then she'd be like, oh, it's this, and then we would go through a series of questions and then the pain was gone. Mine would move to other places, but that's because I did a longer session. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being brave to come on and put yourself out here for a live hot seat coaching. And I'm excited to see, check in a couple days and see how you're feeling. So for me, like, things take some time to process. And she even said, Emma said that you're going to need a couple more hours. So be gentle and, luckily you have some time and I know you have time on the calendar now, and just treat yourself to relax and just be and, let it all integrate.
So funny how everything happens for a reason, Jen.
I know. I love that. I love that. I was thinking that. So what she's talking about is Sandy and I had a meeting today. We're doing some work separately. And I actually had felt like I needed to move it for multiple reasons, not knowing that this was one of them. And we actually moved it to next week, like on Tuesday. This last Tuesday, we moved it to next week. So it's like the universe always knows what's going to happen. And then Emma, I wanted to ask you, so does Sandy have an action or anything that she's supposed to take? Is the action that she's not supposed to do anything and just rest, or?
Well, I mean, I think you just need to be aware that you're like focus on accepting yourself. And if that, self, denial and stuff comes in, you can just release it. Because that's an old habit. And are there any other actions that are coming up? But I feel like let's see what you think. Are there any aligned actions that are coming up for you, Sandy?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't understand.
Okay. I really just feel that for you, it's just about really resting and letting it integrate. That's sometimes the
Journaling is what came.
Journaling, watching being the awareness rather than getting sucked into old things. You can be the awareness instead and come back to this energy.
Observer of self.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put a little side note in here. Sandy's going to laugh at this. So Sandy, you do bergamot is the oil of self-acceptance. She hates bergamot.
She hates bergamot.
And in the essential oil world, if you relate it to emotions and such, it's said that if there's an oil that's really pungent to you, it's actually the oil that you need the most. And yeah, and so I'm just laughing. I'm like, I wonder if bergamot would be something that you could now start to incorporate a little bit at a time.
It's funny, Emma, because a number of years ago when I first moved to California, I was walking through an event and this gal put bergamot physically on me, didn't ask, didn't tell me it was going to happen. She just did it to me. And I instantly got a headache. I got a headache so fast and so hard. And I can't do the candles with that in it, can't do essential oils with that in it. And Jen and I have been working on this. It's so funny. And then somebody put beautiful on me the other day with my permission, but I didn't know. But normally I'm like, what's in it? But I just was like, I'm just going to live in acceptance. I'm going to be fine. Even if I get a headache, whatever's in there, I'm just open. I'm good. Come to find out it had bergamot in it and I'd never got a headache. So I've been slowly using stuff with that in it. So it's so funny as I'm on this journey that that scent does not have such an intense negative reaction in my system.
Yeah, so I think you're going to get a lot less of the disapproval, but just watch for it.
I love that. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. So amazing. Yay. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Emma. Thank you.
Yeah. Emma, thank you so much. If you have any interest in connecting with Emma, or she does Clubhouse rooms, if you just want to keep following her, she's on Instagram. I think those are the two platforms you're mostly on, right? More so than Facebook.
And, even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you'd like to work on some other issue, you can also reach out to me for that chat, because I do offer like smaller packages. The program is kind of for entrepreneurs about money, but even if you're not, and if you still would like to do some of this work, let's have a conversation as well.
Yes. Always check it out if you feel called.
Yeah. And always check it out if you're feeling the vibe.
Yes. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a little bit longer session today, but all good stuff. I'm like, I just love like people getting breakthroughs and transformations lifetime. That just always warms my heart. And then, if we can follow up after the fact and share like, what did a week ago look like after, or a month after, that's always the most fun. So, all right. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have an amazing day.
And thank you for Jennifer.
Thank
you. Thank you, Emma.
Bye everyone.
Bye.